Good morning, good morning. Hi, so welcome to day 2 of our 5-day challenge to love your body. So this week we are going to take 5 days out of our busy schedules in the new year to reset our bodies, reduce inflammation, help our bodies recover and rebalance. And by doing that, I'm going to show you throughout this week. We started yesterday. Today is day 2. I'm going to show you 5 key things, key principles, tips, tools that you can use for the rest of your life to rebalance your system and to make sure your hormones are all balanced, and that will help you with your ability to cope with stress and trauma and anything else that comes up in your life. Because this journey is about repairing your body from the trauma of heartbreak and or anything else, because trauma is everywhere. So here we are, day 2. So day 1, we talked about reducing caffeine out of your life. And I also asked you to start charting what you eat and how you feel on this food mood journal. So if you didn't get the download of the workbook, let me know, message me and I'll send it to you. And if you did and you followed it yesterday and filled it out like I did, because this is my journey too. I had a little overindulgent holiday, so I had way too many desserts, too many items of food that I'm not used to, just because I want it to be polite, all that stuff. All the excuses we make for eating food that we shouldn't eat, I made them. So I'm also rebalancing. It's really important at the beginning of the year. It's just to kind of like start fresh. So yesterday I just wanted to point out what I ate. So I ate a couple of things that I don't usually eat, and that's because I had guests over and they wanted to eat something specific. So I started off in the morning a little anxious, and I charted it by rating it out of 10. So I was about a 5 out of 10 in anxiety. I had a really simple smoothie yesterday, and I started with some lemon water, and then I had a green tea for breakfast. And lunch was a really nice spinach, avocado, apple salad. But I also had Swedish meatballs because they were left over from the night before with lingonberry sauce, a little too sweet. And I didn't feel so great. But after lunch, my anxiety started to go down, about a 4 out of 10. And then in the afternoon, all I had was a glass of water. And then I went out for dinner last night and had some Korean food, which is always sketchy with MSG and other stuff. But I had a bibimbap bowl, a vegetarian, and I felt really tired, no energy. I felt really heavy in my stomach. But at the end of the day, my anxiety was completely gone. And I also noticed that although I didn't feel so great at the end of the day, I actually felt kind of bloated. I noticed I didn't drink enough. I had like maybe 3 glasses of liquid, which is not good. We need to drink more liquids and fluids to help eliminate. Our colon needs water to help it do what it needs to do. So that's interesting, and I'm going to start day 2. What's great is that I could actually see how I was feeling after, and I could monitor where the potential problem was and maybe if there were any foods, right? So today's all about sugar. So sugar, we know this, right? We've seen YouTube videos, we've seen TED Talks. Sugar is not good for us. Sugar is bad. Sugar is addictive. It creates all kinds of problems. It's a root cause for dysglycemia within our system, and dysglycemia is a word that is used to describe the imbalance of sugars in our system. And that happens throughout the day, our body is constantly trying to regulate our sugar with insulin, right? So that's what the main function of our pancreas does. It does other important things, but basically to pump out the insulin to regulate our blood sugar. What happens is when we continue to have these imbalances of blood sugar, then we end up having diseases like diabetes. That's dysglycemia is the typical precursor to diabetes. We have type 1, we have type 2, and now apparently we have type 3 diabetes. So type 1 diabetes used to be considered a hereditary diabetes. It wasn't a lifestyle disease. But we now know that it is also a lifestyle disease. So it doesn't matter which type of diabetes you have, it is caused by an imbalance of blood sugar that's gone awry. Okay? So, I want to show you a picture. So this is like I do talks a lot, and I do lunch and learns, and sugar is a real favorite topic of mine. So this is what your brain looks like on sugar, okay? So you have a normal brain here. You can just Google this. See how there's blood in the area of the center of the brain. This is your brain on cocaine, and this is your brain on an obese brain, which is, of course, meaning diabetic, right? So look at what happens when we're on sugar. It's the same effect as if we were on cocaine. So it basically starves the brain, okay, and stops it from functioning properly. That's really the worst. You know, that's something we don't want to have, right? We want our brain to function properly. We want to be able to think clearly. We want to be able to act and to live our lives healthily. But more importantly, what it does is it stops us from dealing with our emotions properly as well, right? On one level, because if you're starving your brain and you're not functioning properly, then the messages aren't getting, to your body in order to trigger your metabolism, trigger the proper hormones, etc., etc., etc. It has a long effect, a long cascade effect. So today I want to go through a little exercise with you. Good morning, Lynn. To let you really understand how much sugar you're actually eating today. So it's going to be really fun. I've done this a couple of times, and it's been really effective. So first off, I want to say, as in your workbook says, 1 teaspoon equals 4 grams of sugar. So remember that, okay? So what I did was I went out and I bought some really healthy brands of food. Some I eat, some I do not. And what I'm going to do is show you how to be aware of the amount of sugar that you're eating in a day. So I want you not to go out and buy healthy food, but I want you to go into your cupboards and pull out the things that you eat in a day, or just for this morning, just as an exercise. You can do this throughout your day as well. So what I do is, of course, look at the label. So here is some really delicious gluten-free bread. Now I'm gluten-free. I get gluten-free bread all the time. I don't get this particular brand, but most brands look like this. And this particular one has 5 grams of sugar for 2 slices of bread. So if you're making a sandwich, you're also having 5 grams of sugar. Now, this is extra sugar, okay? The natural ingredients in here do not require sugar. This is added sugar. So what I'm going to get you to do is get a sticky. I've already written them down so we don't have to waste time this morning, and write 5 grams. Okay, 5 grams for 2 slices, so per serving. This is another great brand. I used to eat this a lot. I don't eat cereal anymore, but this was one of my favorites, Goleen Crunch. And it's cashew, right? It's non-GMO, it looks super healthy, they have amazing videos and amazing lifestyle. So let's look at how much sugar is in here. So there are 13 grams of sugar per 3/4 cup serving. So 13 grams of sugar, you write down on a sticky, put it on the box. My favorite pancake mix, because I'm lazy sometimes, but it's also gluten-free. And it has 4 grams of sugar for 2 pancakes, 2 4-inch pancakes. So again, I wrote it. One of my favorite snacks, I actually do eat this one. I haven't eaten it in a while, but it is one of my favorites. This has 8 grams of sugar per 1/4 cup. 8 grams per 1/4 cup goes on a sticky. There it is. Kind bars. Super healthy, right? Has all kinds of yummy ingredients, all natural stuff. But check this out. There's actually glucose syrup, they call it. Not even cane sugar. And there's crisp rice. Oh yeah, and the crisp rice, which has sugar in it. So this actually has, so it's added sugar. So it has 5 grams of sugar. So sticky goes on it, 5 grams. There's another new kind bar that I was curious to get, and it's a maple pumpkin seeds with sea salt. Who wouldn't want to eat this, right? It's gluten-free, it's non-GMO, super healthy, but also 5 grams of sugar per bar, right? Per bar. And the kind bars too. And then my favorite, I usually make my almond from scratch, but sometimes I get lazy and I do Silk almond milk. None of these brands are going to call me to pay me to advertise for them. So this particular one is unsweetened, but if you're not paying attention and you're not thinking about it, you're going to get the normal one, right? And the normal one has 7 grams of sugar in 1 cup. So there goes the sticky. And here's another really great organic juice that I buy every once in a while. And this one's a cranberry, pomegranate, blueberry. Again, non-GMO. It says it's 100% juice, no sugar added. But anything that's processed, now they might call me and say, no, this is absolutely not true. Anything that's processed has gone through some sort of mechanical processing, which has taken away the vitamins, has taken away some of the flavor. They always have to add it back in. So this is actually concentrated organic apple. So it's not, it's a concentrate, right? So it's a processed concentrate juice. And it says organic natural flavor. So whenever they say that, you know something's been added in. So this has an astonishing 26 grams of sugar per cup. Okay, so I want you to get stickies. I want you to do that with all of your stuff, okay, that you eat, all of your packaged goods. This is not about natural sugars like from fruit or whatever. This is about added sugar. And this is about added sugar in things that you don't think is added in, and you think it's really healthy and you're paying a lot of money for, right? So let's just do this next little exercise, which is so much fun. So let's look at what would I have for breakfast today. So here's a hypothetical. What if I had a bowl of kashi with some almond milk and maybe some juice, because I'm like, I need juice in the middle of the day or just even after it. And that's all. What if I just had these things, right? So if I just had these 3 items for breakfast, so this is not, there's no natural, I'm not having anything over and above. I'm in a rush. I'm just gonna do a quick bowl of kashi and a little juice. So let's add it up. So kashi juice, I'm having a cup, it's 26 grams. My kashi is 13 grams, And my almond milk is 7 grams. So that adds up to 36 grams. So if 1 gram equals if 1 teaspoon equals 4 grams, if you divide that by 4, that's 9 teaspoons of sugar right here for breakfast. What does 9 teaspoons of sugar look like? I love these to play with. So this is essentially 1 teaspoon of sugar. So this is what 9, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is 9. This is what I've had for breakfast right here. 9 grams, or I should say 36 grams of sugar. 9 teaspoons. This is breakfast. Shocking, right? What's even more shocking is, according to the US, they recommend that females have only 25 grams of extra sugar a day. That means I've already exceeded my recommended daily amount of extra sugar. That means if I continue to eat this way, I am going to have a system breakdown. So I know it's a bit shocking, and I know that when you do this exercise for yourself today, it will be enlightening for you. So that's what I'm encouraging you to do today. Remember, sticky. Find out how much sugar is in your packaged goods. Write them down at the end of the day. Use your mood food chart also, just to write it down with each meal. Okay? And see how much sugar you have eaten at the end of the day. And then from that point on, make your decisions, right? So the point here is to be aware of the amount of sugar you eat every day, and to be aware what it does to your brain, as I showed you. This is what it does to your brain. So if you're not thinking well, if you're not as sharp as you used to be, and you're complaining, oh, it must be my age. No, it's not your age, it's what you're eating. Okay? It's what you are eating, it's what you're consuming. It's the amount of caffeine, sugar, and I'm only going to concentrate on caffeine and sugar as stimulants this week. I'm not going to tell you to get rid of your alcohol, because imagine if you're also having a glass of alcohol, a glass of wine at night. You know how much sugar that is for your body? Tons. So today's challenge is to chart down the amount of sugar that you eat every day. Realize how much extra you are putting into your diet, how much extra is affecting your brains, how much extra is creating dysglycemia in your body. And now I just want to explain further this whole idea of dysglycemia. You've heard of hyperglycemic people and so there's hyperglycemia and hypoglycemia. Hi, Krista. Hypo and hyper are kind of where we are every day, like in smaller amounts. When you're hyperglycemic, that means there's a spike of sugar in your system, and what happens is your insulin starts to regulate it, and then it goes into hypo. So if you're doing big sugar every day, you go into hyper, then your body tries to regulate it, then you go crash into hypo. And so this is what creates this up and down of energy that you have in the day. Hyper, hypo, hyper, hypo. This is dysglycemia. This is a condition of dysglycemia. And dysglycemia, when we continue to stress out our pancreas and our insulin up and down and up and down and up and down like that, this is the precursor to diabetes. This is what causes diabetes. It's a system breakdown, and you can regulate it. It affects your hormones, it affects your brain, it affects your thyroid, it affects every part of your life, because when it becomes really out of control and you start gaining weight, and you can start becoming obese, and then it just snowballs into other autoimmune diseases and conditions that we have that are unfortunately really common these days, like metabolic syndrome. So for today's challenge, use your stickies, put them on your package goods, see how much sugar is in each package or in each serving, mark per servings. At the end of the day, find out how many grams of sugar you've totaled in your food mood journal, then convert it. 1 teaspoon equals 4 grams of sugar. Okay, so think of how many teaspoons you're going to be eating of extra sugar every day. Remember, this is what we just had this morning, 9 teaspoons of sugar. Okay, so have fun with that today and let me know how you're doing. Okay, feel free to post on the Facebook group. Feel free to reach out, ask me any questions about your food, your coffee intake, and I really look forward to seeing you tomorrow for day 3 of our quickie Love Your Body challenge. Okay, have a super day. Remember, reduce that sugar and keep your energy consistent. Okay, see ya, bye.